Taylor, if you would, your thoughts on the win.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy match. I think a lot of it was about just handling the moment and the pressure, and he was playing at a very high level. I felt like in the third and fourth sets, and it was really about just staying in it and kind of just withstanding how much pressure he was putting on me from the baseline with how he was, just either pulling me off the court on every shot or taking the ball super early, changing directions, which is like, it's so hard to do what he was doing so just consistently. So it was really just about trying to withstand it for as long as I could, keep holding serve and apply the scoreboard pressure and just hope at, a certain point that the errors are going to come a little more. I'm going to get a little more looks to attack and be aggressive. And, it got to that point in the end. I finally started to get some mistakes from him and some balls that I could, look to be a little bit more aggressive on.
Thank you. One question each, please. Ava.
Congratulations, Taylor. When you talk about kind of wanting to stay steady and then when you're out there realizing that Frances is starting to make those mistakes and you have an opportunity, was it difficult for you at that moment, like even though you've been steady the whole time, to stay calm?
It was interesting. So I think we both came out pretty tight. I think he actually might have came out a little more tight than me, but he calmed down quicker than I did. So I stayed a little tight for a little longer, but he was able to kind of rebound after the break and then take the first, and that was tough, really tough, I guess, mentally for me to kind of swallow that I was up a break. Like I kind of just gave the set away off of like my mistakes and like me being nervous. And second set, served well, was able to consolidate a break. Third set, played a really bad game to start, and that was it. And then, when he started making those mistakes in the end of the fourth to let me win the fourth set, it actually probably motivated me a little more because I was waiting the whole third and fourth set, the whole fourth set especially. I was just waiting I was just like, when's it gonna come? When's it gonna come? I'm like drilling balls to his forehand. He's drilling them back, whipping me off the court, changing direction. Like it's just like, it's just kind of what I was waiting for. And then once he maybe started making some mistakes, started lifting the ball a little bit more, allowing me to attack more. If anything, it calmed me down, I think, because it just I just felt like now I had some breathing room and it was more in my hands, I guess.
Peter.
Just you were emotional on the court afterward. Just what were you thinking in that moment? Like what were you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I think I hadn't really like fully, I guess, registered and like hit me when Banks, I guess, said the thing about how I'm in the finals and the crowd was cheering. I'm just like it's just kind of like how I am. I'm like a more an emotional person when I'm happy. When I'm like really happy, like I cry at like happy endings in movies and like not at like sad stuff. So that's like kind of just like how I am. So it's just joy, like the crowd cheering and kind of that realization, like, wow, like I'm in like the finals of the US Open. It's such a, lifelong, I guess, like dream come true. Something I've worked my whole life for, to be in this situation. So I think just kind of like realizing that like got me a little bit choked up.
Taylor, can you just discuss why you're confident that you have a shot on Sunday to bring this home for you?
I've always enjoyed playing him. To be honest, I don't think that I'm gonna be put in a more like stressful situation than I was today than playing the final. I think today is like much more stressful than me playing the final, and I just feel good. I have a feeling that I'm gonna come out and play really well, and when I play good tennis, I think that level is good enough to win.
Chris.
Can you talk about the way you said you were overwhelmed, and you talked about how well Frances was playing and how you had to manage it and try to apply scoreboard pressure, but it was a seriously incredible effort by you to be able to do that given the stakes. And how are you able to do it? And do you think that's been an integral part of who you are as a tennis player all along?
Yeah, I think one thing that's never been in doubt throughout my tennis career, like whether I'm playing awful or hitting one side bad or whatever the situation could be throughout my career, the ups and downs, I think one thing that's never been in question is just like my heart and how I'm always going to compete no matter what. And what I just kept telling myself was just to keep fighting and to keep working. And if I don't give it just, everything I have and just lock in as much as I possibly can, I'm gonna regret it forever if I don't take it's easy in that moment to just switch off and not, I guess, not want to, but yeah, I just told myself I'm gonna always regret it if I just don't give it everything I have to stay in. And it was big. I had to stay with him in some of those like really long crazy rallies because I wanted to show him that I wasn't gonna go away, and I was feeling fit, and I was gonna keep running for everything and fighting for every point. And I think that itself made a big difference for me.
Howard, Matt, Willie. Howard.
Taylor, Howard Fendrich with the Associated Press. Can you explain what you meant when you said a moment ago that you think tonight was more stressful than Sunday might be? And that was also part of when you were talking about Sinner and enjoying that matchup. If you could go into a little bit how or why that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, it's two Americans to make it to the final. Both of us want to be the guy to make it to the final. I had a 6-1 head-to-head leading into it, so it's like, and I'm not thinking that I'm not going into this thinking that I'm the favorite, because everything's totally different when you're playing a match like this. He's been playing unbelievable all US Open. He's been playing in the night match slot on Ash every single match. Like, I'm not thinking I'm the favorite, but it's tough to go in as like the record 6-1. This is to make a US Open final. Whoever wins it is the American that made it to the final. It's a stressful situation to be in. It's different from playing the world number one, who you're probably not going to be the favorite against. But I think I've always played well against Yannick. I think we're 1-1. It's been a while since we played, but last time he got me in 3 at Indian Wells, and I don't know. He strikes. He hits the ball big. He's like a very strong ball striker, but I feel like I always hit the ball really, really nice off of his ball. And yeah, I don't know. I think I typically play well against him.
Matt.
Hey, Taylor, well done. You're so close to Francis, like on the court, and you're passing him at changeovers. Is there any, before he cracked there, and he had said his body was cramping, he was suffering from nerves, did you sense anything in his body language, anything you're picking up that says, this? I think there's something different here, I think he's wilting a little bit?
To be honest, no. He did an incredibly good job of not showing me, to be honest. We played that one extremely long rally, and I was trying my best to not show that I was pretty gassed after that point. For me, I feel like it's more like I'm gassed for like 30 seconds to like a minute. I feel like I'm like, I can't stand up. But then once I can go to the changeover, sit down and like relax for a minute, then I feel like I'm totally fine. But in that moment, when I went over the towel box, I like bent over. I didn't want to bend over. I had to. I looked over at him, and he didn't like go hands to knees or anything like that. So I was like, okay, I know I feel awful. Like he has to feel a little bit tired, but he did a good job of making me believe that I guess he wasn't feeling any worse than I was. I think the only thing that I thought was funny or that I noticed very early on in the match, I hit like a really insane volley for me. And typically, if I were to do something like that, Frances would be like laughing, and I would look. He loves to like laugh when I hit a good volley because he I mean my volleys aren't great, and he always like over exaggerates how bad it is. So I looked over him expecting him to be like smiling at me, and he was like dead serious. So I was like, okay, he's really serious. He's really locked into this one, because normally like he'd be like joking about something like that.
Last two, Willie, and then Richard. You can finish up.
Taylor, what do you think your success and Frances's until tonight and what the rest of the Americans have done here means? And what do you think Sunday might mean for men's tennis after all these years?
I think regardless of the result, I think it gives hope and shows that we're knocking on the door of winning a slam, and we have this generation, this group of guys where there's like 4 or 5 of us that are like actually at this level. So it shows that we're all moving in the right direction. I think that whenever one of us does something, the others follow, the others get belief from it. And I think this is just the start for all of us.
Richard, last question, please. Thank you.
Taylor, you've been the leader of this particular group of guys for so long now. From the outside, it's kind of always felt like really you were supposed to be the first guy to get to this breakthrough. And I just wondered if you ever saw it that way, or did you have that kind of belief all along? I know you're not one to say that you were the head of the group, but I imagine you had some belief that you were supposed to be the guy.
I don't know if I like. I mean, I wanted it. I wanted to be the guy. That's what all of us want to be. I wouldn't say I felt like I was entitled to it. I just really wanted. Obviously, I've been the highest ranked for a while. I was able to win Indian Wells, and then I was like the only one that didn't have a slam semifinal. So I really wanted that, but no, I don't think I felt like it needed to be me, or like it had to be me. I really I don't know. I just really wanted to have success at slams and to get to this point. But I don't know. I think it's just a great feeling to be here, and the match tonight could have gone either way, and it could have easily been Frances in the final. And if it was, I would have been super happy for him.